I arrived at my mountain cottage with the rental agents and found my daughter-in-law relaxing with her lover. She offered me $5,000 for my silence. I nodded and made one phone call. Not to my son, but to the one who could destroy her. As the story unfolds, take a moment to like, hit the hype button, subscribe, and write in the comments. Would you take the money or walk away? The cash sat in her manicured hand like a dare. $5,000, like I was the help, like I could be bought off with the monthly take from one of my mid-tier rentals. Madison reclined on my leather sofa, barefoot, her toenails the color of expensive wine. The man beside her, tanned, gym-sculpted, wearing my monogrammed towel around his waist, sipped my 15-year Macallan like he'd earned it. Tyler something. I'd seen him once at a charity thing, all teeth and handshakes. The rental agent stood frozen in the doorway behind me, clipboards clutched like shields. Young couple from Denver, here to view the property. They'd driven 3 hours. Their faces cycled through confusion, embarrassment, polite horror. "Mr. Garnet," Madison said, her voice smooth as creekstone. "This is awkward, but we're all adults." She extended the envelope. "Let's keep this between us." I looked at the money, then at Tyler's smirk, then at Madison's eyes, calculating, confident, utterly certain she'd already won this hand. I took the envelope. Her smile widened. "I'll handle this," I told the agents. "Why don't you folks grab coffee in town? I'll call you in 30 minutes. They fled. Smart kids. Madison stood, wrapping herself in my cashmere throw. "I knew you'd understand, Clayton. You're practical. Connor doesn't need to know. It would devastate him." "It would," I agreed. Tyler stretched, all false ease. "No harm, man. Just blowing off steam." I pulled out my phone. Madison's smile flickered. "Who are you calling?" "Someone who remembers you." I stepped onto the porch, dialed from memory. 2 rings. "Clayton Garnet," Daniel Rhodes answered. "Been a while." "I need an hour of your time. Today, it's about Madison Clark." A pause. Then, "I'll clear my afternoon." Inside, Madison had gone still. She knew that name. She'd knifed Daniel's reputation 4 years ago over a client dispute, blamed him for her own overclaim, nearly tanked his consultancy. He'd rebuilt, but men like Daniel don't forget. "Get dressed," I told them. "Be out in 10 minutes. Leave the key on the counter." Madison's mask cracked. "You can't be serious." 9 minutes now. I walked to my truck, sat behind the wheel, and opened the envelope. 50 hundreds, crisp and sequential. I photographed each one, front and back. Then I logged the serial numbers in a spreadsheet on my phone, not as agreement, as evidence. Kate answered on the first ring. "How was the drive?" "Change of plans," I said. "Can you pull Madison's access to Connor's shared accounts, the finance app?" "Already logged in. What am I looking for?" "Charges at this address, the last 6 months." Keys clicked. 4 separate bookings. January, March, twice in April, always midweek. She used Connor's emergency card. "Send me screenshots, then lock her out." "Done. Clayton, what happened?" I watched Madison and Tyler emerge, dressed now, his arm too familiar around her waist. They climbed into her Audi. She didn't look back. "She made a mistake," I said. "I'm going to let her keep making them." "Good," Kate said. Her voice held that particular Arctic clarity that meant someone had just made her list. "I'll be home in an hour. We'll map it out." I met Daniel at a coffee shop off the highway. He looked older, gray, threading his beard, sharper lines around his eyes, but his gaze was surgical. "Madison Garnet," he said, settling into the booth. "Agency star, married your son. From what I hear, she's bulletproof." "From what you hear." "But you didn't drive 2 hours for speculation." I showed him the photo. Madison and Tyler, visible through the cottage window, my phone's timestamp overlaid. Then the booking receipts, the serial numbers from the cache. Daniel studied them. "You want to destroy her." "I want her to destroy herself. with facts. No forgeries, no police. Agreed. He leaned back. 4 years ago, she blamed me for inflated metrics on the Pearson campaign. It was her work. I had the drafts to prove it, but she'd already poisoned the well. Pearson walked. Took me 18 months to rebuild. You've been waiting. For the right lever. He tapped the photo. This isn't about infidelity. That's tabloid noise. What matters is the pattern. Professional pattern. Exactly. Madison overclaims. She inflates numbers, takes credit for other people's work, and when questioned, she pivots to charm or victim narrative. The affair is just proof she thinks rules don't apply to her. I like this man. What do you need? I asked. Access to her professional claims, client lists, case studies, campaign decks, anything public-facing. I can get that. Connor has files at home. Then we start small. One client, one question, a polite inquiry about metrics validation. If she's clean, it goes nowhere. If she's not, he smiled. People start asking their own questions. We shook hands. One rule, I said. Nothing moves without 2 independent confirmations. No single source accusations. That's how you build a case that doesn't break. I drove home. The mountains gave way to foothills, then suburbs, then our quiet street with its maple trees and lamplight. Kate's car sat in the drive. Inside, she had papers spread across the dining table, printouts, highlighted sections, a yellow legal pad covered in her precise handwriting. I called Linda from the PTA, she said. You remember her? Runs the donor committee for the Arts Foundation. Madison's on that board. Madison wanted to be on that board. Linda blocked her. Too aggressive, she said. Too quick to claim credit. Kate slid a page toward me. Linda keeps receipts. Madison submitted 3 grant proposals last year. 2 were mostly written by junior staff. Madison's name went first. You told Linda? Nothing. I asked if she'd heard Madison was doing amazing work. Linda filled in the blanks herself. This was why we'd lasted 32 years. Kate fought chess, not checkers. What's the timeline? She asked. Slow, methodical, no explosion, controlled demolition. What about Connor? That was the knife in my ribs. Connor, 29, decent to his core, who'd brought Madison home 3 years ago with stars in his eyes, who'd defended her when I'd raised one eyebrow at her resume, who loved her. He sees the evidence when it's undeniable, not before. Kate nodded. He'll hate us for a while. Better than hating himself for being blind. She gathered the papers. Then we build the case, quietly, and when the time comes, we step back and let the facts do the work. I pocketed Madison's $5,000. It sat in my jacket like a ticking clock. She thinks she bought silence, I said. Kate smiled. It wasn't warm. She bought a spotlight. The evidence came in layers. Kate worked the social stratum, brunches, carpools, those donor cocktail evenings where money changed hands over canapes. I'd always thought that world was fluff. I was learning better. Madison had built her armor there. The right friends, the right visibility, the right narrative. Kate knew how to rust it. 3 questions, she told me over breakfast. That's all you need to plant doubt. Are you sure? Did you see the numbers? Who really ran that campaign? Doesn't that sound like gossip? It sounds like due diligence, and people love feeling smart for asking. I focused on documentation. Connor and Madison lived 20 minutes away, a tasteful condo Madison had chosen, all glass and steel and monthly fees that made me wince. Connor traveled for work. Network infrastructure consulting took him to client sites 3 days a week. I chose a Tuesday. Let myself in with the spare key Connor had insisted I keep. Madison's home office occupied the 2nd bedroom. White desk, motivational prints, a filing cabinet that wasn't locked. I didn't steal. I photographed. Her portfolio deck, glossy and professional, claimed sole credit for 4 major campaigns. I cross-referenced them with LinkedIn profiles of her team members. 3 of those campaigns listed other names as lead. Her case study for the Brennan Foundation Restoration Project cited a 42% increase in donor engagement. I found the raw data in a spreadsheet titled Draft Metrics Do Not Share. Actual increase, 18%. I sent everything to my secure cloud, wiped the metadata from my phone, and locked the condo behind me. That evening, Connor called. "Dad, you free this weekend? Madison wants to host dinner. Says it's been too long." My throat tightened. "Sounds great, buddy." "She's been weird lately. Stressed. Work stuff, I think. Agencies are pressure cookers." "Yeah." He paused. "She's amazing, though. She handles it." I closed my eyes. "See you Saturday." Kate touched my shoulder when I hung up. "You're doing this for him." I keep telling myself that. You are. Daniel called Wednesday. I sent a preliminary inquiry to Pearson Group, the account Madison claimed credit for 4 years ago. Just a courtesy check. Looking to validate campaign performance metrics for a new prospective client. Can you confirm the ROI figures Madison Clark cited in her public case study? And? They're reviewing. Should hear back in a week. But here's the thing, I also reached out to her current flagship, Vertice Solutions, asked if they'd be open to sharing performance insights for an industry benchmarking report. Totally routine. They said sure, and copied Madison's boss. "You're making her visible. I'm making her claims testable. If she's honest, no problem. If she's not, she'll start seeing questions everywhere." I liked this better than rage. Rage was gasoline. Hot, fast, gone. This was hydraulic pressure. Invisible until something cracked. Kate made her first move Friday night at a fundraiser for the Arts Foundation. Madison glowed in a black cocktail dress, working the room like a conductor. Connor stood beside her, proud. I wanted to drag him out. Instead, I watched Kate intercept Linda near the bar. "You were right about Madison," Kate said, just loud enough. "Talented, but something feels managed." Linda's eyebrows rose. "Managed how?" "I can't put my finger on it. Her portfolio looks impeccable. But when you ask who else worked on those projects..." Kate shrugged. "Maybe I'm wrong." "You're not wrong," Linda said. "I had drinks with a friend at Vertice last month. She said Madison's brilliant at taking temperature, but the junior staff do the heavy lifting." Kate sipped her wine. "Huh." That's all it took. By the time I refilled my scotch, 2 other conversations had sprouted nearby. Madison's name floated through them like smoke. Connor joined me by the donor wall. "Good turnout. Your mother knows how to organize." He grinned. "Madison's trying to get on the steering committee next year. She'd be great at it." I said nothing. "Dad?" He studied my face. "You okay?" "Long week." I squeezed his shoulder. "Proud of you, son." He looked confused, but smiled. "Thanks." Madison found us a moment later, radiant. "Clayton, Kate, thank you for coming. Your donation is so generous." "Happy to support good work?" Kate said. Madison's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and something flickered across her face. Annoyance? Worry? She recovered instantly. "Excuse me, work thing." She moved toward the hallway, typing fast. Kate caught my eye. I nodded. Later, at home, Kate pulled up Madison's public Instagram. A new post from 2 hours ago. A selfie from the fundraiser, all smiles. But the mirror behind her reflected a sliver of the background. Kate zoomed in. Tyler Brooks, leaning against the bar, watching Madison. "He's bold," I said. "He's stupid, which makes him useful." Daniel's first domino fell Monday morning. Pearson Group responded to his inquiry. "Thank you for reaching out. We reviewed the case study in question. The ROI figures cited appear inconsistent with our internal records. We've flagged this for our compliance team and will be in touch with Ms. Clark's agency directly." He forwarded it to me. No commentary needed. Madison's phone must have lit up like Christmas. I didn't call Connor. Not yet. But Tuesday afternoon, Connor called me. "Dad, weird question. Did Madison ever use my emergency credit card without asking? My pulse steadied. Why? I got a fraud alert. 4 charges from some rental property upstate. I thought maybe it was a mistake, but when I asked her about it, she got defensive. Said it was a work retreat she forgot to expense. Did she show you receipts? No. She said she'd handle it. He exhaled. I feel like an idiot for even questioning her. You're not an idiot. You're careful. That's smart. She's been so stressed. I don't want to add to it. Connor, I kept my voice level. If something's off, trust your gut. Silence. Then, yeah. Okay. He hung up. Kate looked at me. That's the crack. That's the start. The bar was one of those polished concrete places where young professionals went to unwind. Exposed brick, Edison bulbs, craft cocktails with names like Midnight Accord. Connor suggested it for an after-work drink. Madison said she'd meet us there. She arrived 20 minutes late, Tyler Brooks trailing a half-step behind. Clayton, hey. Madison's brightness had an edge. You remember Tyler? We've been coordinating a wellness brand campaign. He owns Elevate Fitness. Tyler extended a hand. Firm grip, rehearsed smile. Good to see you again, sir. I shook it. Didn't return the smile. Connor looked between them, puzzled. I thought you were coming from the office. We wrapped early, grabbed a coffee. Madison slid onto a stool beside Connor, kissed his cheek. How was your day? Long. Connor ordered a beer. Tyler positioned himself across from Madison. Too comfortable, too familiar. Kate arrived just as the bartender delivered drinks. She took the seat next to me, assessed the dynamic in 3 seconds, and went serene. Madison, Tyler, good to see you both. An old colleague of Connor's wandered over, gregarious, half-buzzed. Garnet? Man, I haven't seen you since the Denver project. How's married life treating you? Connor grinned. Can't complain. The colleague squinted at Madison, then Tyler. Wait, didn't I see you two at that gallery opening last month? My girlfriend dragged me. You guys were like, deep in conversation. Madison's laugh was flawless. Guilty. Tyler's a client, we never stop working. Right. But the man's gaze lingered. You two looked intense. Thought maybe you were old friends or something. Tyler shifted. Just shop talk. Sure. The colleague clapped Connor's back. Anyway, good seeing you, man. He drifted away. The silence at our table stretched 3 seconds too long. Connor sipped his beer. His jaw was tight. Anyone hungry? Kate asked lightly. They have excellent flatbreads here. Madison's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and her expression iced over for a heartbeat. She recovered, slipped the phone into her purse. Actually, I need to take this. Work emergency. She stood. Tyler stood with her. I'll walk you out, he said. Connor watched them leave. His fingers tapped the bar. You okay? I asked. Yeah. He didn't look at me. Yeah, I'm fine. But he wasn't. Kate and I saw it, the way his shoulders hunched, the way he drained his beer too fast, the way his eyes tracked the door Madison and Tyler had disappeared through. They returned 10 minutes later. Madison's smile was lacquered back in place. Tyler excused himself shortly after. Early morning, he said. Good seeing everyone. Connor said nothing. We finished our drinks with small talk that felt like walking on ice. When Madison went to the restroom, Connor turned to me. Dad, be honest. Do you like her? The question hit like a fist. She's your wife, I said carefully. That's not an answer. Kate touched Connor's hand. Sweetheart, what's wrong? He rubbed his face. I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm paranoid. But something feels off. She's been distant, secretive, and Tyler's always around. Have you talked to her? I tried. She says I'm imagining things, that I'm stressed. He met my eyes. Am I? I wanted to dump everything on the table. The cottage, the photos, the $5,000 in my desk drawer, But that wasn't the play. Connor had to arrive at the truth himself, or he'd defend Madison to his grave. "Trust your instincts," I said. He nodded slowly. Madison returned, all brightness again. "Ready?" she asked Connor. "Yeah, let's go." They left together. Connor's hand rested on her back, but his posture was stiff. Kate exhaled. That was a grenade with a slow fuse. 60 seconds ago, I almost pulled the pin. Good thing you didn't. She finished her wine. He saw the chemistry. He felt the wrongness. Now his brain will do the work. I hoped she was right. Daniel called the next morning. Vertice Solutions just scheduled an internal audit, he said. Routine compliance, they're calling it. But the scope includes Madison's entire portfolio, campaign claims, client deliverables, performance metrics. They'll request documentation. How do you know? I have a friend in their finance department. She owed me a favor. When does it start? Next week. Madison will be notified Friday. She'll lawyer up. Maybe. But if she's clean, it's just paperwork. If she's not, he paused. The truth doesn't need a defense attorney. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. Kate was at the grocery store. The house felt too quiet. My phone buzzed. A text from Connor. "Can we meet for coffee, just us?" I replied immediately. "When?" "Tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. The place near your house. I'll be there." I didn't sleep well that night. Connor looked hollowed out when I met him. He hadn't shaved. His coffee sat untouched. "I think Madison's lying to me," he said. I waited. The credit card charges, the cabin upstate. I pulled the rental company's website. It's your property, the one you're selling. My chest constricted. "Connor, why would she book your cabin 4 times without telling me? Why use my card? Why lie when I asked?" His voice cracked. "Dad, what's going on?" I pulled out my phone, opened the photo folder I'd been dreading, showed him 2 things, the booking receipts from his credit card and the date-stamped selfie Madison had posted from the cabin, a wide-angle shot where, in the reflection of a window, Tyler's distinctive forearm tattoo was visible. Connor stared. His face went gray. "I was there," I said quietly. "Last month, with rental agents. They were inside. Together. Yes." He set the phone down like it might explode. "You've known for weeks. I needed to be sure. I needed you to see it yourself. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me, or would you have defended her?" His silence was answer enough. "Connor, I can show you more. Calendar overlaps, messages, money. But I wanted to give you the choice. You can confront her. You can ask for the truth. Or you can wait. See how far the lie goes." He stood abruptly. "I need to think." "Connor, I need to think, Dad." He left. The coffee cooled between us. Kate found me in the garage an hour later, staring at a wall of tools. "He knows?" "Enough." "And?" "I don't know. He walked out." She wrapped her arms around me from behind. "You did the right thing." "Did I?" "Yes." That night, Connor didn't call. Neither did Madison. But Friday morning, Daniel sent a single text. "Audit notice delivered. Madison just hired a PR crisis consultant." I showed Kate. She smiled grimly. "That's not what innocent people do." "No," I agreed. "It's not." The ethics blogger was a woman named Rachel Koppelman. Mid-40s, former agency veteran, ran a niche site called The Receipts that dissected PR industry overclaiming. Small readership, but laser-focused and credible. Daniel knew her from Panel Circuit. "She hates fabrication," he told me. "One post from her, and every hiring manager in the industry reads it." "Can we feed her something?" "We don't need to. She already has Madison on her radar. 3 months ago, someone tipped her about inflated metrics on the Brennan Foundation campaign. Rachel started digging but couldn't get corroboration. If we provide that, 2-source rule. Exactly. I can give her the Pearson discrepancy, that's confirmed. You provide the Brennan raw data. She'll do the rest. I thought about it. Not yet. We're still building. Don't wait too long. This kind of pressure needs velocity. Velocity comes when Connor makes his choice. Daniel grunted. You're putting a lot of faith in your son. He's earned it. Kate's moves were subtler. A donor luncheon where Madison's name came up. Kate let someone else ask the question. Is Madison still leading the Vertice campaign? I heard there's an audit. The woman who answered was a mid-level executive at Vertice. Oh, that's just standard compliance, nothing unusual. But her tone said otherwise. Another conversation, this time at a charity planning session. Linda, the PTA donor queen, mentioned that Madison had applied to join the steering committee. She's certainly ambitious, someone said. Linda smiled. Ambition is wonderful, but I prefer collaborators over self-promoters. The committee chair nodded. Agreed, let's table her application for now. Just like that, a door closed. Madison's world was narrowing, degree by degree. Connor called Sunday night. I talked to her, he said. And? She denies everything. Says the cabin was a work retreat. Tyler's just a client. The credit card thing was a clerical error. She's furious I don't trust her. Do you believe her? A long pause. No. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. I asked for receipts, documentation, proof it was work-related. Will she provide it? She says she will. But Dad... His voice dropped. She looked scared, not angry. Scared, like I'd uncovered something she didn't think I'd find. That's because you did. I feel like my whole marriage is a lie. I'm sorry, son. Don't be. You tried to warn me. I didn't listen. You loved her. That's not a mistake. It feels like one. We sat with that for a moment. Connor, there's more coming. Things I can't control. Madison's professional world is about to get very complicated. Because of you? Because of her choices. I just made sure people started asking questions. Good. His voice hardened. She earned it. I exhaled. If you need anything, I know. Thanks, Dad. The audit hit Madison's desk Monday morning. I know because Connor texted me a screenshot of Madison's calendar, a 2-hour block labeled Compliance Meeting, Urgent. Kate was in the kitchen when I showed her. She's going to fight, Kate said. Let her. Fights create evidence. Daniel's second domino fell Tuesday. Vertice's audit team requested 3 years of campaign files, including source documentation for every client-facing claim. Madison had 72 hours to comply. Her PR consultant released a statement Wednesday. Madison Garnet is a dedicated professional with an impeccable record. These routine inquiries are standard industry practice, and we're confident the review will affirm her contributions. Rachel Koppelman posted it on The Receipts, with one sentence of commentary. Interesting that a routine inquiry requires crisis PR. The post got 40 shares in an hour. Small, but the right people saw it. Thursday, Connor texted, "She still hasn't shown me the receipts." I replied, "Don't push, let her hang herself." Friday, Daniel sent me a link, an email chain he'd obtained through his Vertice contact. Madison arguing with her junior staff about cleaning up some performance data before submission. This doesn't mean fabricate, Madison had written. It means present it in the best light. A junior replied, "But the numbers don't support the best light." Madison's response, "Find numbers that do." I forwarded it to Connor without comment. He called an hour later. "I want a divorce." "Are you sure?" "Yes, but I need to do this right. I need to wait until I have everything, because she's going to fight, and I need to win." "Smart." "Dad, can I ask you something?" "Anything." "When you found them at the cabin, what did you feel?" I thought back to that moment. Madison on my couch, Tyler in my towel, that envelope of cash. "Cold," I said. "Not angry, cold." "That's what I feel now," Connor said. "Like someone turned off the heat." "That's clarity." Yeah. A bitter laugh. Clarity. Kate and I drove to the gallery opening Saturday night. It was one of those fundraisers Madison had curated. Modern art, wine, silent auction items arranged on tables. Madison had positioned herself as the architect of the event, her name prominent in the program. She saw us arrive and approached, smile immaculate. "Clayton, Kate, I'm so glad you came." "Wouldn't miss it," Kate said. Madison's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and I caught the micro expression, irritation flashing across her face before she smoothed it away. A donor approached, a silver-haired woman with sharp eyes. "Madison, darling, I wanted to ask about that case study you presented last quarter. The foundation engagement metrics?" "Of course. What about them?" "Well, I spoke with the foundation's director. Lovely woman. She mentioned the numbers seemed optimistic." Madison's smile tightened. "Marketing is about positioning. We highlight the wins. But accuracy matters, doesn't it?" "Absolutely, and I stand by my work." The donor tilted her head. "I'm sure you do." She drifted away. Madison's jaw clenched. Kate sipped her wine, serene. A journalist intercepted Madison near the auction tables, young, earnest, holding a recorder. "Ms. Garnet, I'm doing a piece on PR industry best practices. Can I ask about your metrics validation process?" Madison's PR training kicked in. "Of course, we use a rigorous 3-point verification system. Can you provide supporting documentation, just for context?" "That's proprietary client data. I understand. But for general claims, like the ones in your public portfolio, surely those can be substantiated." Madison's smile was porcelain. "I'm happy to connect you with our legal team." "Oh, that's not necessary. Just curious." The journalist smiled. "Thank you for your time." She walked away. Madison's hand trembled as she set down her wine glass. Connor arrived late, alone. He nodded to me from across the room but didn't approach Madison. She noticed, and her expression crumpled for a heartbeat before she reconstructed it. Tyler showed up an hour in. He and Madison stood near a sculpture, heads close, voices low. Connor watched from the bar. Kate nudged me. "Look at the phones." Around the room, 3 people had their phones out, cameras angled subtly toward Madison and Tyler. Social vigilance, the modern pillory. One of those photos went live on Instagram by midnight. The caption, "Great event, interesting dynamics." It was nothing, and it was everything. By Monday, Madison's steering committee application had been formally declined. No explanation given. By Tuesday, Vertice's audit team had flagged 12 separate discrepancies in Madison's submitted documentation. By Wednesday, Connor moved his belongings out of their condo. Madison called me Thursday morning. "Clayton, please, I need to talk to Connor. He won't answer my calls." "That's his choice." "You did this. You poisoned him against me." "I showed him facts. He made his own decisions." "I'll destroy you." "With what? More lies?" She hung up. Kate found me in the study. "She's unraveling." "Good. You feel nothing?" I thought about that. "I feel tired, but I'm not stopping." "No," Kate said. "We're not." The office building was glass and steel, 12 floors of open-plan workspaces where Madison had built her kingdom. I'd been there once for a holiday party. She'd glowed that night, in her element, queen of the hive. Now Connor had access to her work files. She'd shared her passwords months ago, back when trust was currency. He didn't hack anything. He just logged in. "Dad, you need to see this." He sent me a folder of Slack messages. Madison and her team discussing the Vertice campaign. Junior designer. "I have concerns about the engagement numbers in the deck. They don't match the analytics dashboard." Madison. "The analytics are preliminary. We're using projected figures." Junior designer. "But the client will expect these results." Madison. "Then we deliver something close and manage expectations." Junior designer. "That feels dishonest." Madison, that's called optimism. Get on board or get out. 2 weeks later, that junior designer had quit. I found her LinkedIn profile. She'd moved to a competitor agency. Daniel made contact. Her name was Angela Torres. Late 20s, sharp, tired of playing along. Madison takes credit for everything, Angela told Daniel over coffee. I led the creative on 3 campaigns. My name never made the case studies. But when clients gave feedback, suddenly it was my fault. Would you be willing to provide documentation? I kept everything. Emails, draft files, version histories. I was going to let it go, but... She shrugged. I heard she's in trouble. I want to help. Daniel sent me Angela's files that evening. It was damning. A clear pattern of Madison erasing contributors and inflating her role. This goes to Rachel? I asked. With Angela's permission, yes. And the Vertice audit? They've elevated it. Full executive review. Madison's been asked to take temporary leave pending the investigation. She'll fight. She's already fighting. She hired a second lawyer. But Clayton... Daniel's voice went hard. She's running out of moves. The more she pushes, the more evidence surfaces. I thought about Connor, alone in a hotel room, his life shredded. Keep pushing, I said. Kate worked the angles I couldn't. She had coffee with Linda, who casually mentioned Madison's name to a nonprofit board director. She attended a donor cocktail where Madison's professional troubles became polite gossip. I heard there's an audit, someone murmured. Routine, I'm sure, Kate replied, although the timing is curious. Didn't her husband just leave? I couldn't say. Poor thing. So much stress. But the sympathy was thin. In that world, professional scandal carried a particular stink. Madison tried to host a damage control dinner, invited key clients and allies to a private room at an upscale restaurant. Half declined. The other half showed up but left early. I know because Connor told me. He'd been invited. Madison's last-ditch attempt to present a unified front. I didn't go, he said. But my friend did. He said she looked desperate, kept insisting everything was a misunderstanding. Nobody bought it. How are you holding up? Numb, mostly. I keep thinking I should feel worse, but I just want it over. Soon. How soon? There's an event next month, a charity gala. Madison's company is a major sponsor. She'll be there. And? That's where it ends. Connor was silent for a moment. Good. Rachel Koppelman published her piece on a Wednesday. The Optics of Overclaiming, a case study in self-promotion. It didn't name Madison directly, not in the headline. But the article detailed a pattern, inflated metrics, erased contributors, performance claims that couldn't be substantiated. The evidence came from 3 independent sources, including Angela Torres. The final paragraph mentioned a prominent regional PR director currently under professional review. Anyone in the industry knew exactly who it meant. The post went viral in niche circles. By Friday, 2 more former colleagues had reached out to Rachel with their own stories. Madison's lawyers sent a cease and desist. Rachel responded with a detailed breakdown of her sources and methodology. Truth is an absolute defense, she wrote publicly. Bring it. Madison's professional oxygen was thinning. Vertice Solutions issued a statement. Following an internal review, we have identified inconsistencies in campaign reporting. We are taking appropriate corrective action. Translation: Madison was done. Her boss called her in Monday morning. Connor heard about it from a mutual friend. They put her on unpaid leave, he told me, pending a formal investigation. If the findings hold, she'll be terminated for cause. No severance. No anything. Her bonus is frozen. Her equity is forfeit. She's effectively blacklisted. How's she reacting? Badly. She's posting on social media about professional jealousy and witch hunts. It's making things worse. Kate read Madison's posts that night. She's lashing out. That's panic. She's also making enemies. More enemies, Kate corrected. The ones she had left are bailing. Tyler Brooks distanced himself with a public Instagram post. Grateful for the collaborative spirit I've experienced with many professionals. Onward to new partnerships. No mention of Madison. No tags. Just clean amputation. Connor laughed bitterly when he saw it. Even her lover is running. I poured him a scotch. How does it feel? Like watching a building collapse in slow motion. You know it's coming, but the scale is still stunning. Do you regret it? He looked at me. Regret what? Leaving her? Finding out the truth? Any of it. No. He sipped the scotch. I regret not seeing it sooner, but I don't regret where we are now. I clinked my glass against his. Then we finish this. When's the gala? 3 weeks. What happens there? Everything she built, the reputation, the network, the status, ends, publicly, permanently. Connor's smile was cold. I want to be there. You will be. Kate appeared in the doorway. We have RSVPs, 90% attendance. Madison's boss confirmed. Her top 3 clients confirmed. Tyler Brooks declined. Of course he did. And Madison? She'll be there. She has to be. The company expects it, and she can't afford to look like she's hiding. I raised my glass. Then we finish what she started. The gala was 3 weeks out. We used every minute. Daniel assembled the final packet, what he called the reckoning document. 20 pages, footnoted, cross-referenced, clinical. It detailed every claim Madison had made publicly over 3 years and contrasted it with source documentation. Campaign A. Madison claimed sole creative direction. Reality. Angela Torres led the concept. Madison edited the final deck. Campaign B. Madison cited a 63% engagement boost. Reality, 18%, confirmed by client analytics. Campaign C. Madison listed herself as lead strategist. Reality, the client's internal team handled strategy. Madison managed execution only, on and on. Each claim, each inflation, each erasure of collaborators. This isn't speculation, Daniel said. This is a before and after. Her words versus reality. Who sees it? At the gala, I'll have hard copies. The journalist Rachel Koppelman introduced us to will be there. The client counsel for Vertice will be there. Madison's boss will be there. We distribute strategically, people who can act on it. And Connor? He'll have a copy. What he does with it is his choice. I liked that. No coercion, just truth. Kate refined the social architecture. She confirmed attendance from key players, Linda and the donor committee, 2 board members from organizations Madison had courted, the Vertice executives, and a handful of former colleagues now willing to speak. They'll watch, Kate said, and when something happens, they'll talk. That's the ecosystem. What's the trigger? Connor. He's ready? She showed me a text from him. I'll do it. Tell me when. I exhaled. He's braver than I was at his age. He's your son. Of course he is. Madison, meanwhile, was spiraling. Her social media posts grew erratic, motivational quotes about overcoming adversity, veiled accusations of professional sabotage, a video where she talked about staying authentic in a toxic industry. Comments were mixed. Supporters rallied, skeptics questioned. A few former colleagues subtly distanced themselves. She's losing control of the narrative, Kate observed, because there's too much truth to spin. 10 days before the gala, Vertice Solutions made it official. Madison Garnet's employment was terminated for cause, effective immediately. No severance, no references, no equity payout. Her lawyer issued a statement about wrongful termination and pending litigation. Vertice responded with 2 sentences. Our decision was based on documented evidence. We stand by our findings. Madison posted a long Instagram rant about corporate betrayal. Connor showed it to me. She's imploding. Good. You really feel nothing for her? I thought about that. I feel something, but it's not pity. It's satisfaction that the truth won. She'll blame you forever. Let her. Connor pocketed his phone. 3 more things before the gala. What things? I need to file divorce papers. I need to close our joint accounts. And I need to tell her face to face that it's over. You don't owe her that. I owe myself that. He filed on a Tuesday. Clean, no-fault dissolution, citing irreconcilable differences. He requested no alimony, no shared assets beyond equitable division. Madison had 30 days to respond. She responded in 2. Her filing demanded spousal support, half his retirement accounts, and compensation for emotional distress caused by abandonment. Connor's lawyer laughed. She has no case, but she'll drag this out as long as she can. Let her, Connor said. I'm not backing down. He closed their joint accounts Wednesday, transferred half the balance to a new account in her name, kept the other half. Legal, clean, no leverage. Thursday, he asked Madison to meet him at a coffee shop. She agreed. Kate and I waited in the car across the street. We couldn't hear them, but we saw the body language. Madison arrived first, dressed like she was pitching a client, tailored, polished, armored. Connor arrived 5 minutes later, calm and tired. They talked for 20 minutes. Madison gestured, leaned in, touched his hand. Connor pulled away. She tried again. He shook his head. Then he stood, placed something on the table, his wedding ring, and walked out. Madison stared at it. Her face went through grief, rage, disbelief. Then she swept it off the table. It clattered onto the floor. She left it there. Connor climbed into our car. His hands were steady. It's done, he said. Kate squeezed his shoulder. How do you feel? Free. I started the engine. 5 days. I know. You sure you want to do this publicly? He met my eyes in the mirror. She humiliated me publicly. She lied to everyone we know. Yeah, I want to do this publicly. I nodded. Then we finished what she started. The final 5 days were a countdown. Daniel sent the packets to print. Professional, bound, indexed. 50 copies. Kate confirmed the guest list one last time. Everyone who mattered would be there. Rachel Koppelman scheduled a follow-up post, embargoed until the night of the gala. Angela Torres agreed to attend. So did 2 other former colleagues. The journalist Daniel had connected us with confirmed she'd be covering the event for a regional business magazine. Madison's world was a mousetrap, and she was walking in. Connor stayed with us those final days. We didn't talk much about the plan. Instead, we played chess in the evenings, drank coffee in the mornings, existed in the quiet space before the storm. The night before the gala, he asked me, "Do you think she knows?" Knows what? That it's over, that everything's about to collapse. I think she suspects, but she's too arrogant to believe it. He nodded. Good. Kate joined us in the study. Last check, everyone's briefed. Daniel has the packets. The journalist has her press credentials. Angela and the others know when to speak if asked. And Connor? He looked at both of us. I know what to do. You don't have to. I want to, he interrupted. She made me a fool. I'm taking that back. I gripped his shoulder. I'm proud of you. Don't be proud yet. Wait until it's done. We went to bed early. None of us slept well. The gala was tomorrow. The Riverside Pavilion glittered like a jewelry box. String lights draped between columns, bars stationed at each corner, a small stage for speeches and awards. 200 guests in evening wear, the city's donor class and business elite mingling under soft light. Madison stood near the entrance, radiant in emerald green. Her smile was brilliant and fragile. She'd fought to be here. Her former employer had encouraged her to skip the event, but she'd invoked her role on the planning committee. She couldn't be disinvited without causing a scene. So she came, and she glowed like a woman who believed she could charm her way through anything. Connor arrived with Kate and me. He wore a dark suit, no ring, no expression. We positioned ourselves near the bar, present, visible, waiting. Daniel stood by the silent auction tables, leather portfolio under his arm. He caught my eye and nodded. The room hummed with conversation. Madison worked it like she always had, touching elbows, laughing at jokes, air-kissing cheeks. But I watched the micro-responses. A donor pulled back slightly. A colleague's smile didn't reach his eyes. A board member excused herself quickly. The whispers had done their work. Linda arrived with the donor committee. She saw Madison, offered a polite wave, and turned away. No warmth, no invitation to join. Madison's smile flickered. Kate drifted toward Linda. I couldn't hear the conversation, but I saw Linda's expression shift. Surprise, concern, then a sharp nod. The journalist, a young woman named Priya Shah, positioned herself near the stage with a notebook. She'd been briefed. She knew what to watch for. Tyler Brooks was notably absent. Connor sipped his water and watched Madison with clinical detachment. She looks desperate. She is. Good. The MC called for attention. A thin man in a tuxedo, cheerful and polished. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Tonight we celebrate community, generosity, and the incredible partnerships that make our city thrive. Applause rippled. Madison clapped too, her smile tight. We'd like to begin by recognizing our sponsors, particularly Vertice Solutions, whose commitment to this event has been extraordinary. More applause. Madison's former boss, Richard Gaines, stood near the stage. He did not applaud. He looked uncomfortable. And a special thanks to our planning committee, whose tireless work made this evening possible. The MC listed names. Madison's was conspicuously absent. Her face went pale. Kate leaned toward me. They edited her out. First cut. I watched Madison's hand tremble as she reached for a champagne flute from a passing server. She drained half of it in one swallow. The polished veneer was cracking already, and we hadn't even begun. Daniel moved through the crowd, distributing packets. He handed one to Richard Gaines, one to Linda, one to a man I recognized as a client counsel from Madison's portfolio. Each recipient opened it, scanned the first page, and went still. Their faces told the story, eyes widening, jaws tightening, glances shooting toward Madison. Priya Shah received hers and immediately started taking notes. Madison noticed the packets. Her eyes tracked Daniel's movements, and panic flashed across her face. She set down her champagne glass so hard it nearly tipped. She intercepted him near the auction tables, her heels clicking sharply on the polished floor. "What are you doing?" Her voice was low, sharp, barely controlled. Daniel smiled coolly. "Sharing documentation. Public interest. That's my work. That's private. No, that's a record of your claims versus reality. Big difference." He adjusted his grip on the portfolio. "Everything in here is sourced, verified, and absolutely factual." She tried to grab the portfolio. He sidestepped smoothly, like he'd anticipated the move. "Don't make a scene, Madison. You're already drowning. Don't make it worse by flailing." Her breath came faster. "You can't do this." "I already did." He glanced past her. "Excuse me. More people need to see the truth." She stepped back, breathing hard, her composure shredding. Across the room, Richard Gaines was showing his packet to another executive. Their expressions were grim. One of them pulled out his phone. Connor watched from across the room. His posture was rigid, controlled. "Now?" "Not yet," I said quietly. "Let the room absorb it first. Let them start questioning." Kate touched my elbow. "Linda's making moves." I looked over. Linda was circulating, leaning in close to key donors, gesturing subtly toward Madison. Planting seeds. Watering doubt. Madison saw it too. Her eyes darted around the room, reading the shifting landscape. She was smart enough to recognize the trap closing around her. The MC returned to the microphone. "Before we continue, we'd like to invite a few words from one of our community's young leaders. Clayton Garnet, would you join us?" Connor froze. "I didn't—" Kate squeezed his arm. I added you to the program this afternoon. Go. He stared at her, then at me. His face had gone pale. You've got this, I said. Just tell the truth. He nodded once, sharply, and walked to the stage. The room quieted. Madison's expression cycled through confusion, hope, dread. She mouthed something. Maybe his name, maybe a plea. Connor took the microphone. His hand was steady, though I knew the effort that steadiness cost him. Thank you. I wasn't planning to speak tonight, but I think it's important to address something publicly. Phones came out. The room leaned in. You could hear the rustle of fabric, the soft clink of glasses being set down. My wife, my soon-to-be ex-wife, Madison Garnet, is in this room. Madison went rigid. Every eye turned to her. She looked like she wanted to disappear into the floor. For 3 years I loved her, I trusted her, I believed in her. His voice didn't waver. I was wrong. Silence. Absolute knife-edged silence. Even the servers had stopped moving. She lied to me. She betrayed me. And when I found out, she tried to gaslight me into thinking I was imagining things. He paused, letting that sink in. I'm not imagining anything, and neither should you. He gestured to the packets Daniel had distributed. Those documents detail a pattern of professional dishonesty. Inflated metrics, stolen credit, fabricated results. It's all there, verified, sourced, undeniable. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Madison tried to speak. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. She looked trapped, cornered, exposed. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for truth. And the truth is that Madison Garnet built her reputation on lies. I won't be part of that anymore. He set the microphone down carefully and walked off the stage. His shoulders were back, his stride confident. The room erupted. Whispers, gasps, phones out everywhere. Camera flashes sparked like lightning. Madison stood frozen, her face crumbling in real time. The emerald dress that had looked so perfect now seemed like a costume. Kate turned to me. Now. I nodded to Daniel. He approached Richard Gaines and handed him a second document. Angela Torres's files, annotated and indexed. Gaines scanned it, his expression darkening with each page. Then he walked to the stage, took the microphone. His face was granite. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the disruption. But in light of new information, Vertice Solutions must make a statement. The room quieted again, everyone straining to hear. We recently terminated Madison Garnet's employment following an internal review. That review has now been substantiated by independent sources. He held up the packet like evidence in a courtroom. These findings confirm systematic misrepresentation of campaign performance, client deliverables, and team contributions. Madison's knees buckled. Someone caught her elbow, a server, looking alarmed and uncomfortable. Effective immediately, we are suspending all payments related to Ms. Garnet's work pending further investigation. We will also be notifying clients and industry partners of these findings. Transparency matters. Accountability matters. He stepped down. The journalist was typing furiously, her fingers flying across her phone screen. Linda approached Madison, her face carved from ice. You applied to join our steering committee, Linda said, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. Thank God we said no, we do our homework. She turned and walked away, her committee trailing behind her like a royal procession. One by one, people moved. A donor stepped back. A colleague looked away. A board member murmured to someone and left. The circle around Madison widened, a social quarantine spreading in real time. Madison stood alone, visibly shaking now. Tears threatened at the corners of her eyes, but she fought them back. Connor appeared beside me. His jaw was tight, but his eyes were clear. It's done, he said. Not quite. I walked across the room. The crowd parted for me. Madison saw me coming. Her eyes filled with hate and desperation, and something that might have been recognition. I stopped 2 feet away and spoke quietly, so only she could hear. You offered me $5,000 for my silence. I took it, but I never agreed to stay silent. I just let you think I did. Her breath hitched. You thought you were smarter than everyone, that charm and confidence could cover the lies, that people like me could be bought off or brushed aside. You were wrong. I pulled the envelope from my pocket, the same 5,000, counted and recorded. Here, you'll need it. You're not getting another paycheck for a long time. I set it on the table beside her. She stared at it, then at me. Her voice came out hoarse, broken. You destroyed me, she whispered. No. You destroyed yourself. I just made sure people saw it. Every step, every choice, every lie, that was you. Own it. I walked back to Kate and Connor. The MC tried to salvage the evening, but it was over. Guests were leaving, cameras were flashing. Priya Shah was interviewing Richard Gaines near the exit. Madison stood alone, the envelope untouched. Her empire collapsed around her like shattered glass. Connor watched her. I should feel worse. But you don't. No, I feel light. Kate took his hand. Let's go home. We left Madison standing in the ruins. Outside, the night was cool and clear. Connor stopped on the steps and looked back at the glittering pavilion. Is it always like this? Revenge? I don't know, I said. I've never needed it before. But it feels right. Yes. Good. We drove home in silence, not the heavy kind, the quiet kind, after a storm passes and the air finally clears. When we pulled into the driveway, Connor turned to me. Thanks, Dad. For what? For not letting her win. I gripped his shoulder. She never stood a chance. The aftermath moved with bureaucratic precision. Monday morning, Vertice Solutions issued a formal statement to all clients, clarifying the misrepresentations and offering amended performance reports. 3 clients severed their contracts immediately. 2 more demanded audits of all past work. Madison's lawyer attempted to negotiate a settlement. Vertice refused. We have documentation, their counsel replied. We're prepared to defend in court. Madison's lawyer stopped returning her calls. Rachel Koppelman published a follow-up piece, Accountability at Last, When Professional Fraud Catches Up. It detailed Connor's public statement, the Vertice findings, and Angela Torres's testimony. The article went viral in industry circles. Madison's LinkedIn profile disappeared. Her Instagram went private. Her phone number changed. She was erasing herself. Connor filed an emergency motion to freeze their joint assets pending the divorce. Given the circumstances, Madison's termination, the fraud findings, the professional blacklisting, the judge approved. She'll fight, his lawyer said, but she has no leverage, no income, no credibility, no allies. How long until it's final? 6 months, maybe less. Connor nodded. I can wait. Kate and I cleaned out the cottage that week. We found a bottle of my scotch, half empty. Tyler's towel, still damp in a corner. A receipt from a nearby restaurant dated 2 months prior. Evidence we didn't need anymore. I burned it all in the fireplace. Kate watched the flames. Do you feel guilty? No. Neither do I. Good. Daniel called Wednesday. Madison's trying to get work. She's reaching out to former clients, offering freelance rates. Nobody's responding. She's blacklisted. Completely. I spoke with a few agency heads. The word is out. She's unhireable. What will she do? I don't know. Leave town, probably. Start over somewhere nobody knows her name. Think she will? People like Madison don't change. They just find new victims. Not this time. No, Daniel agreed. Not this time. Connor moved into a new apartment downtown. Small, clean, his own. Kate and I helped him unpack. You seem good, Kate said, arranging books on a shelf. I am. Really? He paused. Yeah, really. It's weird. I thought I'd feel angry or sad or something, but I just feel relieved. That's healthy. Is it? Yes, I said. You're allowed to be okay. He smiled. Thanks. We ordered pizza and ate on the floor, surrounded by boxes. It felt like a beginning. Priya Shah's article came out in the regional business magazine. The Cost of Credibility, One Woman's Fall from Grace. It was thorough, balanced, devastating. She interviewed Angela Torres, Richard Gaines, and Linda. She quoted Connor's speech verbatim. She did not interview Madison. Subject declined to comment, the article noted. The piece circulated widely. Other outlets picked it up. Madison's name became a cautionary tale. Kate showed me a post in a PR industry forum. This is what happens when you prioritize optics over ethics. Another. She got what she deserved. I closed the laptop. Enough, it's done. Do you think she'll ever recover? Professionally? No. Personally? I shrugged. That's not my problem anymore. Tyler Brooks tried to rehabilitate his image with a long Instagram post about learning from difficult partnerships and moving forward with integrity. Comments roasted him. You were part of it. Integrity? Where was that when you were cashing in? He deleted the post within an hour. Connor laughed when I showed him. Even the opportunist gets burned. Karma's efficient. Yeah. We didn't talk about Madison much after that. There was no need. She was a closed chapter. Connor started dating someone new, a teacher, kind and funny, who had no idea who Madison was. I like that, he told me, starting fresh. You deserve it. We all do. Kate and I sold the cottage. A young couple from Portland bought it, cash offer, no inspection. They loved the view. We're going to make so many memories here, the wife said. Kate smiled. I'm sure you will. We signed the papers and walked away. On the drive home, Kate asked, Any regrets? About the cottage? No. About Madison? I thought about it. No. She made her choices. We just made sure those choices had consequences. And if she shows up one day, tries to make amends, she won't. But if she does, then Connor handles it. It's his life, his decision. Kate nodded. Fair enough. We drove in silence for a while. You know what's strange? I said. What? I thought I'd feel triumphant, like I'd won something. But I just feel done. That's called closure. I guess it is. Good, Kate said. You earned it. I reached over and took her hand. We drove home. 6 months after the gala, Connor's divorce was finalized. Madison didn't contest it. She couldn't afford to. The settlement was clean. Equitable division of assets, no alimony, no contact clause. Connor kept the car, half the savings, and his peace of mind. Madison got the rest and disappeared. Rumors surfaced occasionally. Someone claimed they saw her in Phoenix, working retail. Another said she'd moved to Portland and changed her name. A third swore she'd left the country entirely. I didn't care enough to verify. Connor thrived. He got promoted at work, proposed to the teacher after a year, and invited Kate and me to a small backyard wedding. No drama, he said. Just people we love. Perfect, Kate replied. The wedding was everything Madison's hadn't been. Simple, honest, joyful. Connor's new wife, Emma, was radiant. He looked at her the way he used to look at Madison, but this time it was real. During the toast, he thanked Kate and me. For believing in me, he said, and for not letting me settle for less than I deserved. Kate cried. I didn't, but it was close. Afterward, Emma pulled me aside. Connor told me everything, she said, about Madison, about what you did. I didn't do much, just made sure the truth came out. That's more than most parents would do. He's my son. She hugged me. Thank you. I hugged her back. Take care of him. I will. Daniel and I stayed in touch. He'd built his consultancy into something formidable. Clients across 3 states, a small team, a reputation for integrity. Madison was my ghost, he told me over lunch one day. What she did to me 4 years ago, it haunted me. But helping take her down, that exorcised it. You don't feel guilty? For what? Telling the truth? For enjoying it. He grinned. Maybe a little, but she earned every bit of it. Agreed. We clinked glasses. Kate retired from her non-profit work and started consulting. Turned out she was brilliant at crisis management, helping organizations navigate scandals, rebuild trust, manage reputational damage. Ironic, I said. You destroy one reputation and build a career fixing others. It's all about knowing where the pressure points are. You're terrifying. She kissed me. You love it. I did. I sold 2 more rental properties and consolidated the portfolio. Less work, more time. Kate and I traveled, nothing extravagant, just long weekends in small towns, hiking trails, quiet mornings with good coffee. Life was simpler, better. One evening, a year after the gala, Connor called. Hey, Dad, random question. Shoot. Do you ever think about Madison? Wonder what happened to her? No. Do you? A pause. Sometimes. Not in a I miss her way, just curiosity. She's alive somewhere, probably trying to rebuild. That's all you need to know. You think she learned anything? I doubt it. People like Madison blame the world, not themselves. That's sad. It is, but it's not our problem. True. He laughed. Anyway, Emma and I are coming over Sunday. We have news. Good news? The best. He hung up. Kate looked at me. What do you think? I think we're going to be grandparents. Oh, God. Excited? Terrified. I laughed. Same. Sunday, they told us. Emma was 12 weeks along. We wanted to wait until it felt real, Connor said. Kate cried again. Happy tears this time. I shook Connor's hand, then pulled him into a hug. Proud of you, son. Thanks, Dad. Later, after they left, Kate and I sat on the porch with wine. You know what's funny? She said. What? Madison thought she was building something permanent. A career, a marriage, a reputation, and it all collapsed in a single night. Because it was built on lies. Exactly, but what you and Connor built, that's still here, stronger than before. Because it's built on truth. And love, she added. Don't forget love. I kissed her temple. Never. We watched the sun set. The sky turned orange, then purple, then dark. Somewhere, Madison was starting over. Maybe she'd changed. Maybe she hadn't. I didn't know, and I didn't care. My son was happy. My wife was beside me. The truth had won. That was enough.